acres in Auburn. We are a no-kill shelter. We're licensed with the state, and we are a 501c3. So, we will take you for a tour. Cooper sitting on top of the bench is a great success story. When we get back to the house, I'll show you the original pictures of Cooper. He was one of 11 starving puppies, 6 of whom died. He was one of the survivors, and it took us months to get him healthy. Everyone's stopping in the shade to cool off on the way around the pond. Even Pierre! he hears real high-pitched noises. We don't allow any dog aggression here, and dogs are taught from as soon as they arrive that a new dog is our guest. And we do not expect a new dog to be the one that follows all the rules and makes everyone happy. I try and explain to new adopters when they have other dogs that it's best if their dogs treat the new dog with respect and give him time. Give him time to learn the rules of the new place. It's very difficult for a dog that's being adopted to come into a brand new environment and suddenly do everything everyone wants. I had a call one night from a woman who complained that the dog arrived after 6 hours of traveling and drank out of the toilet. My first thought was, well, close the lid, but I explained that he had probably been in the car for such a long time and maybe her water bowl was not adequate. Needless to say, that adoption did not work out. Patty Jean. This is Al swimming. Al and his littermate right here, Patty Jean, were rescued from a dog hoarder, and they are doing much, much better. They're still not very well socialized, but we're working on it. We are working on it. This is Shayna. We talked about her before when she was brought here 3 years ago as a starvation case by a neighboring police officer. She was since adopted by one of our volunteers who's actually taking the film. And Shayna came back for a visit today. You can see how beautiful she looks now. She has come a long way. They did also seize the 14 horses that she was found with. Since we last talked to you, Sebastian has been diagnosed with a congenital illness. Only 5 dogs in the United States have been diagnosed with it. 4 giant schnauzers. One is now a St. Bernard. And it's under his nose. There's a pink spot, and it hemorrhages. And it has hemorrhaged twice now. And when it does, it's like a fire hose of blood. It's horrible, and I have to race him in with my flashers onto the emergency vet clinic. It's always in the evening, and they've had to do immediate surgery on him. So far, he's been holding his own really well. This is Pierre. I very rarely get what I call foo-foo dogs. Pierre is definitely a foo-foo dog. He was brought to our veterinarian after having been found running down a dirt road, very matted, very dirty, stuff. And the veterinarian kept him for a week, was sure his owners would turn up. They never did. Our vet feels that he is deaf. And so he turned him over to Scars, and we've gotten him groomed. Doing just fine here. here is our Labradoodle. We call him our hillbilly fisherman. Our pond is so full of little fish that you can see them when you're standing at the dock, and Rufus likes to watch them. He never makes any attempt to catch them, but he loves watching them. Over there is Roxy, the black and white dog. We recently received her. She is a Pit Bull Border Collie mix. She was being crated 8 to 10 hours a day, and of course she had tremendous energy when she got out of that crate. So far I have not had any applications on her, and she is a beautiful dog, a very nice dog. This is Max in the water. He has been with us now for 12 years. He is on our sponsor page. He was an abuse case. He was blindfolded and his legs were hogtied. His mouth was duct taped shut when the police intercepted some boys who had tied him to a tree and were beating him with a pole. He has not been able to leave scars. We tried to adopt him out once, and it was a traumatic experience for him. He was unable to do so. Well, here comes Roxy. Hey, Roxy! You can see what interesting markings she has. Sugar. She's probably some kind of an Australian Shepherd, I don't know, maybe Retriever mix. She's a 1.5 years old. She was found by a minister in Chanute, which is several hours from here. She had been shot in the leg by what his vet said was some kind of a projectile. She was very thin, but he could not keep her. Okay, we have 3 Magnums. They have roofs. They are escape-proof. We do use them, and we like them. They're wonderful. They have the tarps up, so in the winter they have a protection from the wind. We keep a lot of hay in the igloos during the winter. In the summer we clean it all out, hose it out, Clorox it, and get the hay out, because it would tend to hold bugs, I think, in the summer. And then we have these 2 little extra runs, which we don't use too much. This is another fenced-in area. Patty, Tina, and Al spend most of their time, not most of their time, but a lot of their time in here. The barn has an air conditioner and a heater. These 2 shelters were an Eagle Scout project, and they donated the new igloos that are inside. They're not used a lot, but it's really nice in the winter if they prefer to go in there than the barn. This is just another fenced area that we use primarily for 7-Up and Pepsi, because there are 2 little dogs escaping and running all over the neighborhood. At night they come inside. It is air conditioned. It's got a new roof and a new door put on it. The air conditioner is running now. It's very cool in here. The scenery is good. They have the small pond to look at, and they also have their own little swimming pool over here, which we keep filled with fresh water. Because my husband is president of his firm and also a professor at the university, and I am a full-time high school English teacher, we're extremely busy people. And as a result, we do have 2 kennel workers that are here during the day. And until one of us can retire, which is not looking too good in the future, we'll continue to have people here who exercise the dogs. I think it's critical that we have people here during the day and the dogs get lots and lots of exercise. I am constantly asked, how do you have 50 dogs and no fights? Well, we do have occasional skirmishes, that's for sure. We have fortunately never lost a dog to a dog fight. I attribute most of that to the fact that they get enough exercise. I think if people say, well, I take my dog for 2 walks a day, and I wonder, is that 5 minutes, is that 10 minutes? They have to run, and they have to run a lot, unless they're a small dog. So I think that's one of the reasons that we do as well as we do, and certainly that's been the case with Harry. Harry just has got to have a lot of room to exercise. He just never wears out, do you, Harry? Okay. You see, this is Alex. I jokingly tell people that I found him in the woods and brought him home, because everyone says, what is that? Is that a cat? Is it a dog? Is it a bear, a lamb, a sheep? Or is it a wild animal, a wombat? Poor Alex has been called everything in the book. We don't know what he is. He's probably got a little Pomeranian in him, maybe a little poodle. He seems to have kind of a curly sheepskin fur, a little turned up nose. When we got Alex last winter, he was in very bad shape. He was extremely thin. They had used home groomers on him and shaved him, and his skin was peeling. He had a staph infection. His teeth were infected. He was not neutered. He is now probably a little bit too plump, but a very unique dog. He is older. He's probably 8 years old. Doggy dorm. And we have 4 enclosed areas here, as you can see, with Coranda beds, which are orthopedic beds. And then we have 3 indoor-outdoor runs that go out to the yard. It's air conditioned, it's heated, it's a wonderful place. So this is our bathing area, and this is our cabinet for towels and bowls and various things. It's been a great addition. Summers in Kansas are extremely hot. All the dogs get into this doggy door, and on a hot day, you'll find them lying in here on the cool concrete. That is Cooper, our blonde pit bull mix. The one that we were telling you about that was the starvation case, one of the survivors of 11 puppies. And Roxy, of course, is next to him. This is Peppy. He's been a long-term dog here, probably 12 years. To the left is Jenny, the German Shorthair Pointer. Jenny is going to probably stay with us. She has Addison's disease, which is fatal if not treated. So she has to have a shot every 3 weeks, which is rather expensive, and a prednisone pill every night. And then, of course, there's Pierre in the background, Sugar on the sofa, Carly on the sofa, Cherokee, who is sleeping on the sofa in the corner. Oh, you've got to zoom. Has cancer. And he's been with us for about 12 or 13 years. He seems perfectly comfortable, and as long as he's comfortable and eating, he can just stay on the sofa. Chase is over there on the Coranda bed. Chase has 2.5 legs, and he can still get around, but we carry him. We're carrying him most of the time. Thank you to Ahimsa for your continued support. We cannot thank you enough for all you have done for us. You're one of the very few, if only, foundations that gives help to kennel workers. And when everyone has to work, you want someone here with the dogs during the day to exercise them, to take them out, to make sure they're all right. Thank you again for your support, for your caring, because we are a very rural area of northeastern Kansas, and the need is extremely great here. There are so many dogs in need. Everything you give us goes right to the dogs, so thank you again so